Hello, we're having a look at Star Wars Legion's new core set, the Clone Wars expansion. So, I have a massive box with some lovely artwork, and on the back, box contents. Let's have a look at this up close. First thing you get is your Learn to Play guide. So this is both the contents of the box laid out, along with the assembly instructions for the various miniatures that you get in the box. So droidekas, clone troopers, Grievous, and the measuring sticks. It also goes through how to play a basic game and get you started. The full rules are available for free online. At the end we have a little painting guide. We also have a sheet of tokens. So these are very important for play. These give you things like unit markers. These are used to mark out your deployment zones, suppression, which plays a big part in the game, aim markings, pin markers, and then down here we have our two factions activation discs. And that shows you your commander, support, and core choices for both factions. We also have the initiative and turn dial that you get in here, so whoever the player with initiative is has this, and they pass it back and forth throughout the game. Let's zoom in and take a look at the miniatures. Okay, the first thing in the box then is a set of barricades. They are one piece, so they can just be set down. Nice amount of detail on them. They are PVC plastic, so sometimes they bend and will need to be straightened out just in hot water. And you get 8 of them in the bag. You also get the dice you need to play. So 2 sets of dice, 1 attack and 1 defense. The 6-sided dice are used for your defense, and the 8-sided dice are your attack. And the strength of the attack is color coded into it. You also get this, which is used to hold the initiative turn counter together. So it's a little 2-part piece that you just plug in. We have 2 sets of measuring sticks. First set are for the movement of the actual units in the game. So short, a medium, and a long. And all you do is clip these together so that you've got a turnable section. And we also get a range marker. It comes in 4 pieces, and each section is a range band, and they just simply slot together and then can be pulled apart when you're looking to store. We get 2 sets of bases, and they're color coded to the 2 factions. So you can either paint the miniatures in advance and then attach them, or if you don't want to paint, you can start playing without having to worry about what unit belongs to what player. So there's a dark blue and a fawn. I assume the blue for the clone troopers and the fawn color for the battle droids. Then we get into the miniatures themselves. This box is a mixture of hard plastic and PVC plastic. So the bark trooper, which comes pre-cut off a sprue and in a variety of pieces. It should be fairly simple to build with the instructions at the front of the book. Next up, for the clone troopers, we get the actual infantry. And all of these are actually, again, they're sprueless, but this time it's PVC plastic. So every bag should be an individual miniature, I believe. If we have a look, we'll see, well, they're actually broke down into types. So put the shiny out of the way, and we'll have a look at one of the heavy choices for your squad. There's a nice amount of detailing on them, no real flash or mold lines. All of the pieces have keyed joins, So it's just a case of plugging the individual elements together. So that goes on, that goes in. And once the head's on, we have our support trooper. Minimal flashing, minimal cleanup on these, which is nice. Say the other one's identical. You also get rank and file troopers. This one looks like a sergeant because he has pointing arms. I would be remiss if he did not. It looks like the crew for the bark trooper are in here also. So this is actually the pilot for the hard plastic bike with his, I suppose, handlebars. Let's make sure these go in the same bag so I don't mix them up. And we have General Kenobi.
General Kenobi! You are a bold one.
Hello there. He is 5-part. And the assembly is simplicity itself. Quite a significant bend in that lightsaber. That will just need to be dropped into hot water to straighten that. As simple as that, he's built.
Where are those droidekas?
Droids are all hard plastic, including their leader. So, Grievous himself is one full sprue. He comes with multiple arm options. So we've actually got 2, 4, 6 sets of arms here. But these 2 are for one positioning, and then the other 4 are for when he separates his limbs and quad wields his lightsaber. So there are variations in build, which is nice. He also has a uncivilized blaster. Some nice detailing on the cloak, which comes in 2 parts with his head up here, the top of the cloak there. Then we have the heavy support, the droidekas. This is actually 1.5 frames per droideka. So this section is for one droideka and this section is for a second, and then you get 2 of these frames. So this is actually the gun arms and weapon mounts. And then here we have the chassis of the droideka itself and its legs. So you can see heads here, more weapons, the tripod leg set up, the actual shell. So you get 2 of those, I believe making 4 droidekas. And then the Phase 1 battle droids. We have 12 in the box, and it's 3 different sprue variants. So the first sprue is simply 2 battle droids carrying blasters, torsos, their backpacks and legs on either side, and then their heads come in 2 sections. So here and here. I believe it's just 2 types of stance on those, but you get 8 of those in total. Then you get 2 sprues, the same. Again, 2 droids per sprue. And they look like they are, if not posable, there's weapon options there. Because we have a solitary blaster, we have 2 hands with blasters. Again, heads in the center, backpacks and bodies. We all know what battle droids look like. Clean casts, simple to go together. Parts are fairly thin, but there looks to be enough thickness in the limbs that you won't have any major issues with snapping. And certainly none of the sprues have shown any stress or snapping on them. And then our final set of 2 sprues, again, one type twice, and this has our support weapon options on it. So we have a missile launcher and some form of possibly ion gun or heavy blaster, heads, torsos, legs, space skeletons. Finally, in the box there are 2 card packs. One card pack will give you the unit details, and the other card pack are unit upgrades. So the larger of the 2, this gives you your tactical choices. That's actually how you organize the game, by choosing one of these, and your opponent chooses one, and whoever has the lowest pip count goes first in that particular turn. Then we have specific ones for General Kenobi and for Grievous as well. We have our mission cards, showing you how to set those up. Then we have our deployment cards, which you can either pick or you can draw these randomly. Weather conditions, which are an optional rule to change how the game plays. And then the actual unit cards, so Kenobi with his special rules on the back, our clone troopers, one card for each unit, and the bark speeder. Then with Grievous, again, all of his special rules, the battle droids, 2 cards, and the droidekas. Now these side images tell you how many upgrades your units can have, which come in here. Most of these will double, so the 2 forces are equal. However, when we start getting into some of the individual pieces, you'll see that the upgrade link for the droidekas would be quite helpful. Long-range comm links, again, you can only have one of these, so the droidekas would have to choose between the long-range comm links and the HQ uplink, depending on what way you want to run them. Some are force powers, so only usable by Jedi. And then other options like additional battle droids for your units, or the Z6 Phase 1 Trooper with the cannon, or the DC-15 Phase Trooper. They would be options. You could only have one of these support options in a unit. You couldn't have both. And that is Clone Wars from Fantasy Flight Games.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.